Okay, I'm going to say it as a diehard Panthers fan. If you're calling for Frank Reich's job, you're not a Panthers fan. You should be calling for Scott Fitterer's job. So let's get to that.
Hey, I thought it was all over.
Welcome to Real Coverage. I am your host, Nick. We're going to get straight into this, and I'm going to pull something up because I need you guys to see this. This is directly from Panthers.com. I didn't do any editing on this because it's so raw. Right there. What does that say? Scott Fitterer is now in his third season after being named GM of the Panthers by David Tepper in January of 21. A Super Bowl winning executive. He has reshaped Carolina's roster, including a trade up to the number one pick of Bryce Young. Okay? If you're calling for Frank Reich's job, you're calling for the wrong job. Scott Fitterer has been our GM since 2021, and you don't want to know why our draft capital is the way it is? You want to know why Brian Burns isn't paid? You want to know why we're in this 0-4 slide? And as I've said, since week one, we will end this coming out of the bye 0-6. That is because of a poor wide receiver core, because of a poor front office that does not want to pay Brian Burns, and from fans asking for the coach to be gone rather than the person that's built the team for multiple years. What are you guys talking about? I've been arguably the most outspoken critic. I could go pull receipts of people talking about on Twitter that, oh man, we're going to do so great. We're going to do this. And hey man, I thought we could win some games, but after that first game, I made sure to make everybody abundantly aware of my thoughts. And that is that we were going to make this massive slide. Now, obviously, we're going to go to they're going to go to a few things. The people that are going to try and debate me on this. One, Frank is out there making the play calls and everything like that. I understand that. It doesn't matter if we gave Andy Reid, me and a few of my buddies from high school. No offense, he couldn't win shit of games. So I think that's more of the parallel. Everybody thought that Chark was this great over-the-top talent. Don't get me wrong. He's set some catches, great. But he's a wide receiver 3. Laviska Shenault is not Deebo Samuel. He's a wide receiver 3. Thielen, if he had stayed in Minnesota, didn't have a choice. He had to leave because you know where he would be on that team right now? Wide receiver 4. He's not better than Jordan Addison. He's not better than Osborne. He's obviously not better than Justin Jefferson. So the idea that Frank Reich is out here just being just not giving them the opportunity. They've gotten the opportunity by still being on a roster, by being considered a good receiver on a team that could win. First of all, the stats from the game, just the last game, where we lost the Vikings, where I said before that game that we were going to lose. 25 of 32, 204, no TDs, no picks though. Took 5 sacks for 55 yards, total loss, 17.4 QBR, and a 93.2 rating. Not a great rating. Not a great QBR, but better rating than Kirk Cousins, who actually had 2 touchdowns. Obviously, the Sanders Chuba Hubbard thing is still a problem. Thielen's not him. Terrace Marshall is a wide receiver 4 right now. I'm sorry, hasn't proved anything. We don't have a competent wide receiver, and I mean that from a perspective of winning. Right now, if Justin Jefferson had gone out in that game, I truly believe that KJ Osborne and Jordan Addison would have demolished us. And if it wasn't for a 99-yard pick 6, we lose by, almost 2 touchdowns. Actually, we would have lost by 2 touchdowns. I'm happy with the defense. I like Chin, even though he can't get separation. I like Von Bell a lot. Gross Matos I've always liked. Of course, Brian Burns. Why we still haven't paid this man, I just don't know. Luvu's still possibly dealing with that nagging injury. I obviously hope that he continues to heal, though most people don't get healthy during the season. The next thing that people are going to try and argue with me on, other than that Frank Reich shouldn't be calling plays anymore, which again, he's been a proven talent. He knows he can do it. We just need people that can actually get separation. We need a better scheme when it comes to the run game, or just better decisions when it comes to there. Obviously, I think that goes a little bit to Frank, but that's not fireable offense. If that's the case, Mike McCarthy would never have a job. So with that, my next one that I'm going to go to is the idea that we should have taken C.J. Stroud. Now, don't get me wrong, C.J. Stroud broke the record for most completions without an interception by a rookie at 151, and the close it was 100 and something, 108 or whatever. So he blew that out of the water. And you're like, oh, we should have taken Stroud, blah, blah, blah. I don't disagree that Stroud is going to be impactful. I don't disagree that Stroud is going to make the Texans a competitor. What I disagree with is the fact that they think that CJ Stroud could come into this offense and do the same thing when the Texans have arguably two possible wide receiver ones. Tank Dell, who's the one that's the possible. Right now, he's wide receiver 2. But Nico Collins is a clear wide receiver 1. If you followed me in fantasy before this, again, I do 50 fantasy leagues here at Row Coverage. I have Nico Collins in every single one of my leagues. I made sure to not miss him. I really believe in Stroud as well, though I did not go crazy on him in fantasy. Nico, I went crazy. Again, he's in all 50 of my leagues. So, yeah. I'm really excited for that Texans team. But just looking at these stats, just so you know, I'm looking down because I'm looking at ESPN stats. I don't believe it. I don't think we have a 1,000-yard receiver on this team. And if it is, it's Adam Thielen, and it's 1,100. Like, we don't have anybody on there. The one that I thought would really, really, really get the opportunity, but the problem is he's not getting the targets, or he's just not getting the best looks, is Jonathan Mingo. I do believe Jonathan Mingo could be a top receiver for us. At this point, I'd be willing to trade a bunch of our wide receivers for rookies, if I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to look up ones. I almost said Wookiee. Sorry, I've been playing a lot of Star Wars games. But I would trade him for a bunch of rookie wide receivers. I would trade Laviska for Jalen Hyatt. I would trade for, like, if you could somehow steal an Addison, I mean, Jordan Addison would be amazing. There's a bunch of them. I think that wide receivers are going to be much more prevalent to come about in the draft year to year. Next year, we obviously have Marvin Harrison Jr., and then I think the following year, that kid out of USC, Brendan Rice, he looks really good. So yeah, those are the first two. Again, it's not Frank's play calling. The wide receivers can't get separation. That's a Scott Fitterer problem because he's been here since 2021. Next one. We should have gone with Stroud. No, Stroud actually has real talent around him and actually has some stuff that can succeed. They obviously went out and I think they got Will Anderson as well. So, they're adding pieces, and their defense actually looked really well. And they've shellacked the Steelers. They have a competent offense. We don't have that right now. Next one that people are going to bring up is Bryce Young. Oh, we shouldn't have got him. We should have gone with somebody else. Again, going back to the Stroud thing. I just don't think so. I think that Bryce Young is the correct move at quarterback. I thought he played well. He was very poised in the pocket. I'm very excited for the future, assuming he can still stay healthy. We really need to develop the line. Again, we need wide receivers. He needs people that can actually get separation, and right now, nobody can outside of Mingo. So for that, I think that he's going to suffer there. Again, I'm not really sure what other excuses Panthers fans are going to come up with. I've been saying it. I've made multiple videos about it. I've been saying that our Panthers are not equipped, and it comes from the front office. Front office builds teams. They build, personnel groups and everything. They're the ones setting us up for the future. If we had a Howie Roseman out there making moves, or an Ozzie Newsome or something like that, great. We're gonna get some really great talent. Like the fact that we let Isaiah Simmons go from the Cardinals to the Giants for a 7th-round pick. A 7th-round pick would have been absolutely worth it for Isaiah Simmons in our defense, but whatever. I think everybody has their anger in the wrong place, and I hope some people could see this video and really start relating with it, because Fitterer needs to go. He's been here since 2021. He's the reason why this roster sucked in 2021, sucked in 2022, and it's going to suck this year. And again, that's coming from a diehard Panthers fan here. But regardless, I'm going to still be out there rooting for my team and still be doing videos like this for Roll Coverage. My name is Nick. I'm going to have a good rest of my day. Hopefully you do too. We're out of here. Peace.